What up, though? This is Erica Marie, and I'm bringing you episode 2 of Unsolicited Advice from a Mom. On this episode, I'll be talking to Shelton Hawkins about his move to Paris, his time in college, and his future plans to become a nomad and travel the world.
I'm Shelton.
Okay.
Founder, owner, creative director of Atron Studios. I make music, produce music, I engineer, videographer sometimes, creative director most times, amongst other things.
That's a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of things. And with that being a whole lot of things already, then the question, what do you want to be when you grow up?
After our conversation that we just had, I think I want to be a nomad. I think I want to just travel the world. No, but seriously, I do love traveling. Like, that's one of my favorite things that I've learned about myself that I would love to do.
Okay.
I love to travel. I love to see new stuff. I'm inspired by seeing new stuff. Like, even if it's in the United States, like going places that I've never been before, just seeing like how the culture is different or how the city is different, or if it's not a city, how that area is different.
Mm-hmm.
That inspires me. What I really want to be when I grow up, though, I want to be like a high-end creative director. So, like, whether that be for a brand like Louis Vuitton, or when I build my own brand to that, that status, I want to create at that level, though.
Okay.
And do like runway shows and like be known for that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then I also want to be, I kind of want to be a rapper. I'm all over the place right now.
But you want to be creative?
Yeah, I want to be a creative. At the end of the day, I want to be creating because that's what I love to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say creative director of like a major brand and you mentioned Louis specifically, then I'm thinking Virgil.
Yeah.
So along those lines.
Yeah, along those lines.
But of course, by the time you do it, it'll be even bigger and even grander.
Because I wanna do something similar to what he did as far as change the culture of a brand. Like, he took Louis Vuitton from I don't want to say whitewashed, but it was a whitewashed brand. They didn't really have nothing urban going on.
Right.
And he turned it into something that like was more widely accepted and more profound. You know what I'm saying? And it's more interesting. He made it more of an interesting brand altogether.
Okay. That's a heck of a goal.
Yeah.
So the first big step that I know is that you're moving.
Oh yeah.
Far.
About 4,000 miles away.
So you're moving to Paris,
Mm-hmm.
like super soon.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been planning this?
So my brand was in Paris Fashion Week, February 2022. And I've probably been thinking about going back out there since then.
Okay.
Since I came back. When did I make it like set in stone that I was gonna move? Probably like last month.
Okay.
I was just like
last month.
Yeah, because when you keep talking about something and talking about it and not putting no action towards it, it becomes like you're stalling. So I just kind of like shut myself up and just went for it.
Start making plans.
Yeah, start booking stuff, start making plans, and yeah. So now I got everything situated now. So it's like it's either I'm gonna go or I don't. I'm gonna go. I don't really have no choice. I'm gonna go.
Flights booked. Place to stay. I got people out there, so okay.
It's gonna be cool. But yeah, we gonna shug and jive out there.
Okay. Like afraid, happy, excited. What's the vibe? What's the feeling?
Right now, I'm anxious.
Okay.
I would say anxious and excited.
Okay.
The last time I went out there was like for business, like for work.
Yeah.
So I was excited because I was getting like a lot of publicity and like I was getting interviewed and people. I was in newspapers and shit like that. But am I allowed to cuss?
It's fine.
Okay. I was but it was more like, all right, I know I'm going out there to work. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna enjoy myself, of course, but I'm working. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like I'm going out there to work, but now it's different. Now it's like I don't have anything that I'm bound to while I'm out there. I can really just like, and I'm be out there for much longer.
Okay.
So I'm just spread my wings, see what I can do for real. Like,
so this is a long term. Like I booked a return flight for a year from now, or you just booked a one way?
Not a whole year, nah, but a few months for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out there for a few months.
Okay, so it may be a temporary move.
Possibly temporary, likely to change.
You're open to not being short term.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm open to it not being short term.
Are you gonna open a store over there, or are you just gonna work?
I was gonna see if it makes sense.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because here, I don't know if the people who are watching know, but I just recently closed down my 12 Oaks location.
Mm-hmm.
In sight of my move to Paris. So, if it like, I not closed it down because it wasn't making sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
managing from across the world is a little difficult.
Managing from across the world in itself is going to be difficult. And on top of that, I was already getting taxed out the ass. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I just would rather take a step back so I can like take a giant leap forward. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Like, it's nothing like me closing the store was not a bad thing. It wasn't nothing like negative surrounding that.
No.
But, you know, I just got to do what makes sense for me and my brand. You know, I got to grow in other places than just having a store. It was cool. You know, it was a good experience, I would say.
It was a good thing to know how to do.
Yeah. It was a good thing to know how to do. I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful to have had that experience so young. So now.
And how old are you?
I'm 22.
Which is... Also, just need you to know, as me having been a person that on the periphery was able, like, I remember graduations and traumatizing. Traumatizing.
Yeah.
But that's the mom type figure in me that I'm like, y'all are really growing up. You're 22, moving to across the globe.
Yep.
Not like, oh, my parents are coming with me, not my best friend. Just you are just go. So you do wish that you had like.
You know, I wish because you know so the first time I went to Paris, I brought my mom with me. Mm-hmm. That was like one of the things on her bucket list. So she was out there with me, and my grandma was out there with me too.
Okay.
So that was cool. Like I had them there, so I could just be like, you know, y'all in Paris too, like
right.
Yeah. But now it's gonna be like I'm literally on my own. So. Which is not new, but it's gonna be new because I'm not gonna be on my own in a whole different country,
right,
on the other side of the world. You
right.
know what I'm saying? So
that's exciting, though.
Yeah,
I'm really excited.
I'm excited.
You're excited?
I know it's only gonna be good things that come out of this.
What would you tell a 17-year-old version of you?
17-year-old me did not listen, bro.
But what would you tell 17-year-old you that to be tucked in the back of your head to just kind of hear, even if you didn't do anything about it, just you wanted for this to be a thing that you just 17-year-old you, 17-year-old Shelton never forgot?
I would tell myself to listen to my passion, listen to what my heart is telling me.
Okay.
And that's going to take me a lot further than most of the stuff that I was doing or trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's probably, like, one of the biggest things. Like, listen to what your body is telling you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew what I wanted to do back then. I just wasn't sure. You know what I'm saying? But if I had took the time and, like, really nursed what I was, like, trying to do instead of kind of tiptoeing around it, if that makes sense. Like, yeah. I wasn't really, like, I was doing it, but I wasn't really sure if it was gonna work, so I was kind of timid with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would just say, listen to my heart and make sure I really put the effort behind, like, my talent, like, really. But like I said, I didn't listen a lot back then. I was doing creative stuff, but I wasn't really sure if that was gonna be what
you actually did.
Yeah,
what was your plan coming out of high school? Like, what did you?
You want the honest answer?
Yes.
I had no plan.
So you just graduation day and the
like,
day
fuck.
after graduation, you're just like,
I was like, fuck. What?
I wish myself well.
I didn't want to go to college for real, but coming out of high school, like that's so like
coming out of U of D,
it's kind of like if I don't go to college, like how are my parents gonna look at me? You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I'm applying to colleges last minute and stuff, like schools that I've never even heard of. Like I'm just doing stuff so I can get into a college.
Right. Doing kind of what was expected of you.
Yeah, doing what was expected instead of listening to my heart, knowing that I didn't even know. I knew I didn't want to go to college for real, but I'm glad that I went because I got the experience. But I didn't really. I was done with school at that point. I was like, I'd rather do something else. You know.
So you went to college for
2 years.
Okay.
I did a year at Bowling Green, then I did a year at Michigan State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some valuable experience there?
I would say so. Like valuable social experience for sure. Not necessarily academic experience because I can't really tell you nothing I learned in school right now. Not that they taught me. I always did my own research about stuff though. Like,
right.
I've always been open to learning in other ways, and I do like researching on topics that I'm actually invested in or like interested in.
Right.
Like, I really love psychology, so I'll do psychology research on my own. Just because I like to know how the human brain works and why it works that way and why people act the way they do. It's just stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah.
So would you encourage? So this is just the mom in me question. There's a lot of guys that I talk to, or folks that I talk to, that coming out or getting ready to come out of high school are like, yeah, everybody wants me to go to a 4-year school. I don't necessarily know if I want to, but I feel like they're going to look at me different if I don't go.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Do you feel like there was some value in at least going for a little bit?
Yeah. I feel like if I hadn't went, maybe my life would have been a little different. I don't know how much more different. But the fact that I had that experience to be on my own in college for 2 years, in 2 different states. Like I said, I went to Bowling Green, which is in Ohio,
right,
in the middle of nowhere. So that was an experience in itself. Met some cool people there. Then went to state. A lot of my friends were already at state, so I got that experience. Got to hang with my people that I already knew. Got to meet a lot of people there. And yeah, it's just like the college experience. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
living on campus, like, or you know, catching a bus, skipping class.
It's a real thing.
It was, yeah.
Skipping class.
I'm grateful for the experience.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say I necessarily needed the experience, but I'm grateful that I did it.
Right. But there was some value in it.
There was some value there, yeah.
I will say that I went to school. I graduated in 4 years. Like, I did the whole thing. But I also can understand why it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But I also think that there's some value in a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And so
I'm not gonna sit here and tell the audience to waste my money on an experience, but
no.
if you have the means to do so, at least try it, see if it is or isn't for you, and then go from there.
Look here, I'm gonna tell everybody there's scholarship money available. You don't have to go into debt.
No, you don't have to go into debt.
You don't have to go far away. Although I went to a historically black college, I would tell everybody to go to a historically black college if they could.
My mom was telling me like I might have liked the HBCU better than the schools that I went. Like I might have stayed in school.
Yes.
She was telling me that, and I was like, huh.
Yes.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Like I know some guys that graduated with the class of 2020 from U of D, and 2 of them were involved in a fashion show on campus that was led by students that have their own different types of fashion brands on campus, students that want to get into acting, modeling, whatever, that were willing to model their clothes, then students that are also performing artists. So students that are performing artists performed in clothes by students on campus with their own clothing brands. And so it was this all like student run, all different kinds of creatives. And they put together their own fashion show.
Yeah. And at like PWIs, it got to be a organization, like a black organization that put something together like that.
Right.
And when I was going there, I'm not. I can't even say there wasn't that, because I wasn't really looking for it. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
But I didn't know of anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I would have, because I was still, I was doing fashion at that time.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I would have seen something, or somebody would have been like, hey, have you ever tried to join this? Or,
Or you could have created your own.
Or I could have created my own. But I just wasn't. I wasn't interested. Also, another thing, I wasn't happy in school. That's a major.
That's a
thing.
huge thing.
That's huge. Like a lot of people, our people specifically, kind of like throw mental health and like how you feel about things into the back burner because of, like, I don't know, this how society is. But
it's stereotypical in our community that we don't have time to deal with it.
Yeah.
So you just ignore
so
it.
You ignore it until it becomes a real issue.
You got real work to do. What are you talking about? You're sad.
Yeah.
Get up and go to work.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time. Your bills still got to be paid. You ain't got time to be sad.
And that's true. All of that is true. But
that's why culturally we have a really, really, really tough time. You ain't got time to be angry. You ain't got time to be sad. Depressed? What? You still got to get up and go to work.
Or how are you depressed when you got this, and that?
Right.
Like,
what you mean you depressed? You got a better childhood than I ever thought of. That doesn't mean that I'm not.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that I don't feel a certain type of way.
Right.
But,
But you were feeling
I literally
not
wasn't
great.
happy. Yeah, I wasn't happy. That was true unhappiness.
Okay.
I can say I've experienced true unhappiness in my life, and that was it.
Okay.
Not because of college, maybe necessarily, but it's just the overall situations that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That was how I came to my decision to stop going to class and come back home.
I'm not mad at it because it's led you to Paris Fashion Week. It's led you to moving for however long you move. And then I told you, look, our conversation before we started recording, I think that you're going to end up being a nomad.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad about it.
I think I'm going to have to. I think that's just going to be how my life plays out, because, like I said, I like to travel, and the more I travel, the more people I'm going to meet. The more people I meet, the more opportunities I'm going to get. The more opportunities I'm going to get, the more I'm going to be traveling. So it's like...
and this is me. And so the random, like, short version of the story is my grandmother's been a designer my entire life. Mm. My grandmother, her entire life, basically. And so my grandmother's almost 90. She used to travel, instead of going to New York, to the fashion district in New York to get her fabrics, she would go to Nigeria and get her fabrics directly.
That's hard.
And go to Nigeria. And so this is the late 70s, early 80s. And she would just go straight to Nigeria and go source her art, her beads, her fabrics, all straight from Africa directly.
I would like to. That's what I.
And so,
shit I want.
And so, not only does it give you the exact resource to go in and talk to the people and get the colors, to get the materials, to get the things.
Now you're building a rapport with these people, like.
So there's artists that have become legends across the globe. That she was there when they developed. And she also has a story of saying, I went to the shrine and saw Fela perform, and, sitting in the circle in the round and him being right in her face. And so I would definitely, I will miss randomly being able to come to the store to see you.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be more stores, of course.
Of course. But just know that whatever the heck you need, I am, a phone call, an instant message away.
Appreciate that.
Everybody says I know everybody. I don't know everybody, but I can get a hold of somebody almost anywhere.
Okay.
That don't go nowhere. You stuck with me?
Appreciate that.
I'm a Cub mom forever. They say that the boys graduated from U of D and the moms don't. So
no, they don't.
You stuck with me forever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So congratulations.
I appreciate you.
I wish you well. Yeah, and I'm gonna let y'all get whatever couple little minutes left on recording some music that y'all can get.
Yeah, we making another hit, man. Me and Nolan, we occasionally make hits or whatever.
Do she really how I'm posting up? Mom bang like I got dope, but I'm just selling clothes. Bitch, you know who word it is, I got it tied on. I'm feeling the shawty vibe, flew out from under. Took a while, made my own lane, ever since been running.
By the time I share this episode, everybody will have heard my theme song, and I just need y'all to know that Nolan is also playing cameraman right now.
Nolan is the cameraman.
He is also the cameraman right now, and he is also the one that's going to produce. He will have already produced by the time y'all see this. the theme song. So yay, Nolan. One of these days I'm gonna also get him on the other side of the camera.
Mr. Two Stacks himself.
Mr. Two Stacks, that's what it is. Nolan Two Stacks. I didn't know. I didn't know the nickname. So weird. Okay, I'm done.